This very important video is about pleasing God, not man. Disciples want to please God. The road to salvation is straight and narrow. You must follow Jesus and please God, not man. For Matthew says, "Enter by the narrow gate, for wide is the gate and broad is the path that leads to destruction, and there are many who go in by it. Because narrow is the gate and difficult is the way which leads to life, and there are few who find it. Those in the harvest, you are called out of the world, and the world will hate you." Expect this, because Jesus said the world will hate you. It hated him first. If the world hates you, you know it hated me before it hated you. If you were of the world would love its own. Yet because you are not of the world, I chose you out of the world. Therefore the world hates you. Remember the word that I said to you, a servant is not greater than his master. If they persecuted me, they will also persecute you. If they kept my word, they will keep yours also. But all these things they will do to you for my name's sake, because they do not know him who sent me. If I had not come and spoken to them, they would have no sin. But now they have no excuse for their sin. He who hates me hates my Father also. If I had not done among them the works which no one else did, they would have no sin. But now they have seen and also hated both me and my Father. But this happened that the word might be fulfilled which is written in their law. They hated me without cause. Today multitudes water down the gospel of repentance and living godly. They compromise. They love the honor of men more than God, which is an abomination to God. They are afraid to offend, and so they compromise. They even fellow with others preaching another gospel, so as not to divide. Because, quote, it's not loving to divide, they say. They seek popularity and fame and lots of earthly treasures. They want a big following, but the end is tragic. The real gospel is a straight and narrow path. Disciples walk a different life. They follow Jesus and are led by the Spirit of God. Jesus rebuked the Pharisees. They seek the honor of men, but not God. It's an abomination. The Pharisees, who were lovers of money, heard these things, and they derided him. And he said to them, "You are those who justify yourselves before men, but God knows your hearts. For what is highly esteemed among men is an abomination in the sight of God." John, how can you believe who receive honor from one another and do not seek the honor that comes from the only God? Jesus said, "Whoever is ashamed of him and his word, him he shall be ashamed of. If anyone desires to come after me, let him deny himself, take up his cross daily, and follow me. For whoever desires to save his life will lose it, but whoever loses his life for my sake will save it. For what profit is it to a man if he gains the whole world and is himself destroyed or lost? For whoever is ashamed of me and my words, of him the Son of Man will be ashamed of, when he comes in his own glory, and in his Father's and of the holy angels." The watered-down gospel, which compromises with the world and sin, has no power to save. If the salt loses its flavor, it's no longer useful. His disciples are called to be salt and light to the world. So likewise, whoever of you does not forsake all that he has cannot be my disciple. Salt is good, but if the salt has lost its flavor, how shall it be seasoned? It is neither fit for the land nor for the dunghill, but men throw it out. He who has ears to hear, let him hear. The gospel of Jesus Christ is the narrow way to salvation. It's straight and it's narrow. The broad way leads to destruction, and many go in thereat. Jesus will tell many confessing his name to depart from him, they who work iniquity, because only his gospel saves. Example: there can be no fellowship with someone preaching adulterous marriage. Yet many fellow with him, telling others not to be divisive. It's not loving to divide, they say. Someone trying to save souls onto Jesus through repentance has nothing in common with someone leading souls to adultery and destruction. None. A servant of God seeks to please God, not man. Galatians 1:10. For do I persuade men or God? Or do I seek to please men? For if I still please men, I would not be a bondservant of Christ. Summary. Servants of God seek to please God, not men. They preach the straight and narrow way, not the broad way of destruction. Many preach love, grace, and not to divide. They want a big following. But the Bible warns not to follow with those leading others to destruction. Do not compromise the word. Remember, you seek to please God, not man. We're trying to save souls. Jesus bless you.